Okay, so sorry for the delay. Uh, Okay, I'll restart the session again from where I have left. Okay, so this is the evolution of e-learning. Okay, so in this, this defines the pre-digital era before the 20th century. And then computer-based e-learning was started in the year 1960 to 1980s. And then when internet came into existence from the year 1990s to 2000, and then Web 2.0, social learning, mobile learning the year 2010, and advanced technologies, which is beyond 2020s. Okay, so in pre-digital era, where they are learning remotely through postal services. So like our SLMs being delivered to your home using a postal services, like that in before the introduction of this internet and computer application technologies, where it was done through the postal services. And in earlier 20th century, it was based upon radio-based learning and television-based learning. CD-ROM and software-based learning, which is based upon computer-based e-learning in 1960s and 1980s. Web 2.0 learning, which was in the year 2000, which was used using blogs, wikis, and forums. Advanced technologies and personalized learning, which was beyond 2020s, which was using artificial intelligence. So the basic advantages of e-learning, which is accessibility. Okay, we can able to access the course material from anywhere from the world with the use of internet connection. Okay, flexibility. So self-paced learning is an advantages of e-learning. Okay, so self-paced learning is nothing but we can able to learn the resources. We can able to learn the lectures at our own pace. If we need to pause, we can pause. If we need to continue, we can continue. Okay, so there is self-paced learning. It is flexibility. Cost effectiveness. Okay, so nowadays internet is not that much costly. Okay, we can everyone can able to afford for internet, where we can able to have a proper educational setup. Customization. Digital learning platforms can provide personalized learning experience. We can able to customize the lectures, customize the content, customize the assessment based upon the needs and our preferences. Interactivity, where they can able to have videos, animations, and interactive simulations also possible in e-learning. Scalability, it is largely scalable to large number of users. Okay, without the need of additional physical infrastructure or resources. If there are 20 students, if there are 200, 2000, 2 lakh students, to how many limit it is, we can able to address to large number of students as well. Okay. So what are the various e-learning types? Okay. So basically e-learning comprises of synchronous and asynchronous types of learning. Okay. Where both are primarily delivered online, accessible via online, could be completed from anywhere. It has more flexible options. So what is a synchronous interaction? Okay. Sorry. Okay. So what is a synchronous interaction? So learning happens in real time with the instructor and learners interacting at the same time. Okay, it is like face-to-face communication where the instructor also will be online and the learners will be also in the online and at the same time. Learning happens independently and there is no requirement for real-time interactions. Okay, that is example of a asynchronous interaction. So synchronous interaction where it has the instructor and the learners interacting at the same time, but asynchronous interaction, nothing but it happens independently where there is no requirement of real-time interaction. So what is a synchronous e-learning? Any learning tool that is in real time that allows students, teachers to ask and answer questions immediately, where students can able to ask the teacher the questions and they will be able to answer. Simultaneously, the teacher can also able to question and ask the students. Classes occur on set schedules and time frames. Okay, like what we are doing now. We have pre-planned the session, the time frame, and we are engaging the classes. Students and instructors are online at the same time in synchronous classes since lectures, discussions, and presentations takes place at a specific hour. Students should be present at the exact time to participate. Okay, so like what we are doing now, students has to be present at the time at the session for participating in the classes. This learning environment offers meaningful interactions in face-to-face setting with the time to expectation that all students will be available to participate. Synchronous e-learning, it environment supports learning and teaching and offers students to teach multiple ways of interacting, sharing, and the ability to collaborate and ask questions in real time through synchronous learning technologies. Learners from across the globe can connect virtually to the online learning tool. So students can be from different places. Okay, irrespective of the location, they can able to connect with the lectures. So synchronous e-learning technology include video telephone conferencing, webcasts, virtual classroom, live chats, webinars, and application sharing. So what is an asynchronous e-learning? Okay, asynchronous classes let students complete their work on their convenient time. Okay, so it can be carried out even when the student or teacher is offline. So the lecturer should not be online, where the lecturer can be offline. The student can able to see the classes, recorded sessions, and they can able to do their students are given a time frame. It's usually a week or during which they need to connect to their classes at least once or twice. Second, or recorded lectures where they can able to view the lectures within the time frame and they can able to finish their work. This asynchronous learning, students typically complete the lesson on their own and merely use the internet as a support tool rather than venturing online solely for interactive classes. So, instructor provides materials, lectures, tests, and assignments that can be accessed at any time. Overall, students are free to contribute whenever they choose. Many students need more time to form their thoughts or consider all the sides of an issue before offering an opinion. Okay, so this is the concept of asynchronous e-learning. Asynchronous technology supports learning and allow more time for student reflection, collaboration, to student interactions. Okay, so we have more time to reflect upon the concepts. They can able to collaborate with others, and also they can able to interact with other students also. So what are the advantages of synchronous learning? Okay, real-time interaction where the students and lecturer has to be present in time, clarification of concepts. So whenever students have a internet connectivity, there's an issue I feel. Okay, so these are the advantages of synchronous learning, where we have real-time interaction and then clarification of the concepts, social learning opportunities, structured learning environment, and we have immediate feedback for the students to and increased engagement also. Simultaneous traditional classroom experience, what we can have in synchronous learning, opportunities for personalized supports can be possible and enhanced accountability. Immediate access to the resources where we can able to have live sessions. Institution can share the resources, demonstrate the tools in case of practical classes. They can able to demonstrate in real time applications also. And what are the limitations we face in synchronous learning? Okay, so earlier we have seen what is synchronous learning and the advantages of synchronous learning. Now, what are the limitations? It is based upon the schedule dependence. Okay, so where the participants will be available at the same time, which will be challenging for the participants. Okay, where they if they are in different time zones or if they have any predefined commitment, it is difficult for the participants to participate in the session. Technical issues due to we need a stable internet connections and functioning technology for connecting. Limited flexibility where they lacks the flexibility of synchronous learning as learners must adhere to fixed schedules or live sessions. Since it is a live session and fixed schedules, the students should be fixed, must be adhered to the schedules. Passive participation. Some learners may passively participate during synchronous session, especially in large groups, leading to reduced engagement and interaction. Difficulty in accommodating diverse learning styles. So it is difficult to incorporate many aspects, many elements into the synchronous learning. Instructor dependency, where the synchronous learning heavily depends on the active participation of the instructor to facilitate the sessions and provide guidance, where we have limited accessibility for the learners with disability who can require accommodations and higher cognitive load. Okay, this especially for the real-time discussion and activities during the synchronous session, where real-time cognitive load for the participants is essential. Social isolation and unequal participation opportunities. So what are the next is the advantages is the Next is the advantages of asynchronous learning. Okay, so asynchronous learning, which has a recorded session where the users can able to study in their own time. So we have flexibility, self-paced learning, and accessibility, and reduced dependency on synchronous communication, where we should not more dependent on synchronous communications, where we have a fixed schedules or live session. It reduces the real-time communication of the tools, and also it mitigates the issue related to the technical glitches, time zone differences on conflicting schedules. Since it is pre-recorded, we can able to study it at any time. Okay. Increased engagement, where learners have more time to reflect on course content, formulate thoughtful response, and engage in deeper discussions asynchronously. Enhanced focus, without the pressure of keeping pace with the live sessions, learners can dictate uninterrupted time to focus on learning tasks, leading to better concentration and comprehension of the material. Okay, so instead of having pace when the live session is going on, we have to take notes and we have to with the live session. Okay, so instead of this, since it's a recorded session, we can able to pause and play. We can able to revisit this particular time frame again. Okay, rethink of the time frame. We can have a proper time to analyze the session. Okay, everything is possible. We can have a proper enhanced focus in asynchronous learning. Opportunities for reflection, where we can able to have proper feedback for that. Global reach. Okay, since participants around the world can able to join in this asynchronous learning irrespective of their time and their location. Cost effectiveness, asynchronous learning can be more cost effective for institutions and learners alike, as it eliminates the need for physical classroom space, reduces travel expenses, and allow the reuse of digital resources across multiple cohorts. Work-life balance, asynchronous learning supports a better balance between the work, personal life, and education, as learners can manage their study time around their existing commitments and responsibilities. Okay, so apart from their commitments and responsibilities, they can schedule a proper time for the asynchronous learning. What are the limitations we have in asynchronous learning? Reduced social interaction, delayed feedback. Okay, so in case of live sessions, we can able to get a feedback in the live session itself. But in asynchronous learning, the feedback will be delayed, which can be able to receive in the form of assignments or questions or discussion. Self-motivation challenges. Asynchronous learning requires learners to take initiative and self-regulate their learning process. Difficulty in maintaining the engagement. Learners may experience difficulty in staying engaged, focused on asynchronous learning material, especially when facing distractions or completing their priorities. We have limited opportunities for immediate clarification. Since it is a recorded session or we are going to view it in a different time, it is difficult for us to clarify if we have any doubts or clarifications. Technological challenges. Asynchronous learning relies heavily on technology and digital platforms for content delivery, communication, and collaboration. Instructor availability. Okay, so instructor will not be available for clarification of your doubts or to provide any support. Lack of personalized interaction. Asynchronous learning may lack the personal interaction and tailored support that synchronous session can provide. In synchronous learning, we can able to have paced learning, live sessions. Okay, we can able to have personal interaction with the instructor, but in asynchronous learning, it cannot be possible. Potential for miscommunication, asynchronous communication such as text-based discussions or email exchanges can sometimes lead to misinterpretation or misunderstanding of messages. Dependency of Dependency on self-directed learning skills. Asynchronous learning requires strong self-directed learning skills, including self-discipline, time management, and information literacy. So this is the basic concept of synchronous learning and asynchronous learning advantages and its limitations. So next is e-learning platform. So what is the use of e-learning platform? Why it is being used? An electronic learning platform is an integrated set of interactive online services that provide trainers, learners, and others involved in education with information, tools, and resources to support and enhance the education delivery and management. Okay, so what it support? It supports the education delivery, and also it enhances the various education systems, whatever we are going to use for delivering the e-learning content. So what are the different open source and proprietary softwares? Open source is where we can able to download the software and we can use it, and the source code is available with us. And proprietary software are softwares which we are going to pay. Okay, so these are the list of open source softwares, e-learning platforms, and these are the list of proprietary e-learning platforms. What are the different features of e-learning platforms? We can able to manage the course, we can able to create the content, communication and collaboration with the instructor and the students, assessment and evaluation, customization and personalization for the students, user management is possible, integration and extensibility, accessibility, reporting and analytics. Okay, so these are some of the applications of e-learning platforms. One is Moodle. So Moodle is an open source learning management system. So it is the full form of Moodle is modular object oriented dynamic learning environment, which helps the educators to create the online courses and also to manage virtual learning environment. It provides tools for creating, managing, and delivering the course material, assessment, and activities online. We can able to create the content, manage the content, and also we can able to deliver the course material assessment activities in online mode also. Moodle is widely used by educational institutions, businesses, and other organizations. Just okay. So Moodle is okay. So Moodle is widely used by education institution, businesses, and other organizations for e-learning purposes. So Moodle has adopted the following e-learning standards, that is shareable content object reference model, which is a collection of e-learning standards and specifications that define communications between client-side content and a server-side learning management system, as well as how externally authored content should be packaged to integrate with the LMS effectively. So this is nothing but how we are going to manage the content. So they are following a certain standards and specifications on that define the communication between client side content. What are the content the LMS should create? Okay, and what are the content? How it should be managed in a server side? How it should be managed and how it should be integrated with the LMS effectively? This is called as the shareable content object reference model. So what are the features of Moodle? So we have course management. We can able to create courses, manage the courses, and those things can be done. Content creation. We can able to create the content in different file formats like text, media, assignments, quiz, surveys, etc. Communication and collaboration. We can able to communicate and collaborate with the different learners and instructors with the form of forums, messaging, chat, and collaborative activities can be done. Assessment and evaluation, we can able to create certain assessment, we can able to manage those assessment in the form of quiz, assignments, and exams. Customization and personalization, we can able to customize the content whatever we're going to create, we can able to personalize it for different user needs. We can able to manage the user management also, what are their accounts, what are their roles and permissions with for using this Moodle. Integration and extensibility, we can able to integrate with other learning tools, and also we can able to attach many plugins and extensions with this. Okay. Accessibility, Moodle strives to be accessible to users with disabilities by adhering to accessibility standards and providing features like keyboard navigation, screen readers, support, and customizable text sizes. Okay. And reporting analysis, we can able to modify certain reports. We can able to generate many analytics based upon how the users are being used. Okay, we can able to track the learners' progress, how they are participating in the Moodle platform, LMS platform. All these things can be able to manage. Security and privacy. Security and privacy, I think Moodle prioritize security and privacy by implementing measures to protect the user's data and ensure secure access to the platform. It offers features like authentication, data encryption, and privacy setting to safeguard sensitive information. So users' data, students' data is more sensitive. Okay, so we should make sure those data are being protected from stealing. Okay, so many security policies are being from privacy applications has been developed inside this Moodle. So in Moodle, we have two types. One is Moodle Cloud and another one is a self-hosted Moodle. So Moodle Cloud is nothing but it is a hosting service that offers a simplified and easy way to use version of Moodle, primarily targeted at individual educators, small businesses, or organization that do not want to manage their Moodle installation. Okay, we can able to install this Moodle application in a cloud platform. Okay, so we need not to have a local server in our organization. Moodle Cloud provides a quick and convenient way to set up online courses without worrying about server management or technical details. So no need to worry about the server management or technical details. Everything will be handled in the cloud itself. So self-hosted model is nothing but it is a traditional approach where organizations or institutions install and manage Moodle on their own servers or hosting infrastructure. For example, in a college or university or an organization, if they have a install their Moodle in their own server space, in their own local space. Then it is called as a self-hosted model. If it is in the cloud, it is called as a cloud Moodle cloud. So this option provides more control, flexibility, and customization options compared to Moodle cloud. Organization can tailor the Moodle installation to specific needs, integrate it with other systems, and have full control over data privacy and security. So instead of having in a Moodle cloud, they are having their Moodle installed in their own organization, then they can have full control over it, for the data privacy, security, and they can integrate with their other system as well. What are the additional features of Moodle? The Moodle core. This is a standard version of Moodle that includes essential features and functionalities which is out of the box. It is sustainable for education institutions and organizations looking for deploy the LMS for online learning. So whenever we want to deploy the online learning in our mode of learning management system, then we can use this Moodle. Moodle plugins and add-ons has a vibrant community of developers who contribute plugins and add-ons to extend its functionality. These plugins cover various aspects such as gamification, analytics, video conferencing integration, and more. Organization can choose and install plugins according to their specific requirements and enhance their Moodle installation. So there are multiple n number of plugins and add-ons are available for Moodle. Okay, so based upon their need, based upon their requirement, organization can choose which plugin or which add-on to be essential or required for their Moodle. Moodle mobile app is also possible, where it offers a mobile app that allows users to access their Moodle courses and content on smartphones and tablets. The app provides offline access to course materials, messaging, notifications, and other essential features, enhancing the accessibility and flexibility of the Moodle-based learning. So next comes Blackboard Learn. Okay, so Blackboard Learn is also a type. It's an example of a popular learning management system, which is used for educational technology solutions for e-learning based applications. It is widely used by educational institutions, corporations, and government organizations for delivering online courses and managing virtual learning environments. So the same kind of features are available. We can able to manage the course, communication and collaboration, content delivery is possible, assessment and grading, grade center, integration and accessibility and mobile access. Canvas. So Canvas is a widely used learning management system designed to facilitate online learning and course management for education institution, corporation, and other organizations. So same kind of features are available in Canvas also. Sakai is also an open source learning management system which is designed for educational institutions and particularly for higher education. Schoology is also another cloud-based learning management system which is developed especially for the K-12 schools, higher education institutions, and corporate organizations. So other notable e-learning platform, Google Classroom, D2L Brightspace, Edmodo, Adobe Captive Prime, and etc. Okay. So this is the unit 2, which is e-learning. So in this unit, we have seen what is e-learning, okay, and what are the two types of e-learning. One is synchronous e-learning, another one is asynchronous e-learning. Okay, so synchronous e-learning is nothing but where the learning happens in real time. Okay, so the instructor and the learners has to be present at the same time. Whereas in asynchronous learning, which is where the learning happens independently and there is no requirement for the real-time interaction. Okay, and what are the advantages of synchronous e-learning, advantages of asynchronous e-learning, and its limitations also. And next, we have seen what are the different e-learning platforms and the open source e-learning platforms and proprietary e-learning platforms and what are its futures. And we have seen some examples related to Moodle and what are the different types of Moodle. In Moodle, we have two types. One is Moodle Cloud, another one is self-hosted Moodle. Okay, and then we have seen the different open source learning management system. So next is unit 3. Okay, so unit 3 is about the web-based technology. In this unit, we will be seeing about the markup languages, scripting languages, cascading style sheet, weblogs, and websites. What are the different web 2.0 tools? Okay, and then we will be seeing up the reference management tools, EndNote, Reference Manager, virtual learning, and mashups. So before going to this, where we'll be seeing about what is a website. So website is nothing but where it contains the related web pages containing images, videos, and other digital assets. A website is hosted on a web server accessible via a network such as internet or private LAN. Okay, so basically how this web page is structured, this web page is a document typically written in plain text, interspersed with formatting instructions like hypertext markup language, HTML or XML. Okay, so HTML is hypertext markup language and XHTML is extensible hypertext markup language. So web page mainly incorporate elements from other websites with suitable markup anchors. Web pages are accessed and transferred via hypertext transfer protocol, which mainly employ encryption of HTTP secure and HTTPS, which is used for privacy and security options. So why do we basically need a website? To promote our product, services, organization, to convey our ideas, to display the events, to sell organizations, events, services, and their products. So how this World Wide Web came into existence? So Tim Berners-Lee, in the year 1990, developed this World Wide Web. CERN announced that World Wide Web will be free from the year 1993 because of its open source. And then because of the introduction of HTML and HTTP protocol and file transfer protocols, Gopher protocols, all this made the information travel to be accessible via a server. Okay, and then all these websites are located in internet and they can be accessed using an internet address known as Uniform Resource Locator. It's called as an URL. So what are the basic types of websites? Okay, so there are basically three types of websites. One is a static website, dynamic website, and a flash-based websites. Okay, so what is a static website? So static websites are also known as flat or stationary website, which does not have any movement. Okay, users can only read the information but cannot do any modification or interact with the information. Okay, so just they can able to read only the information which is available in the screen. That is flat or stationary website. Here you can find there's a web browser, a client, and a web server. So here the client sends a request from a web page and it moves to the static web page and the process is done and then it moves back to the server by the help of internet where it is in form of a HTML file. Okay, so this is an example of a static website. So static website, what are the advantages? It is a fast and most efficient way to deliver the content. It does not require any code or execute or any databases to be accessed, which makes it more secure way to deliver the content. Okay, so here you can find there is a list of static web pages. So it requests the web page and it extracts the web page from the web server and it replies back to the client. So there is no use of a database application in this web server. Okay, so it does not require any code to execute or any databases to be accessed. It uses simple, clean URL to address the content. It is compatible with every type of web server technology. Okay. The disadvantages of the static web pages are nothing but it must be republished when it changes, or your viewers will not see the updates. It cannot display differently to different viewers depending on their login status or other factors. Okay, so static website is not when we are going to update for if we are going to update one line also, then we have to refresh the code. We need to republish the code so that it gets applied in the server side. Okay. So these are the disadvantages of the static website. Next comes the dynamic website. So dynamic website changes or customizes itself frequently and automatically based on certain criteria. So it get updates on its own. Dynamic website shows different information at different point of time. So a good example is e-newspapers. Okay, so in e-newspapers for different location, okay, the content gets changes. For different user, the content gets changes. Okay, so based upon the user and the preferences, the content will be displayed differently. Okay, so that is an example of a dynamic website. It is possible to change a portion of a web page without loading the entire web. Okay, so a particular portion of a web page can be made update without changing the entire web. So basically, these dynamic websites can of two types. One is code, another one is content. So dynamic code is nothing but this refers to the underlying programming logic that generates the web pages dynamically. When a user requests a web page from a dynamic website, the server executes code to generate the HTML, CSS, and Java style scripting that makes up the page. This code can perform tasks based on user input or other factors such as retrieving data from database, processing for submission, and generating customized content. Okay, so this what does this dynamic code does? This creates a user request from a web page from a dynamic website, the server itself executes the code. Okay, whether the code is written in HTML, cascading style sheet, or Java code, it executes the code by itself. So based upon the user input or other factors, it is able to retrieve the information from the database for submissions and for generating some certain customized content. In dynamic content, this refers to the actual content of the web pages, which can change based on user interaction, preferences, and other factors. So, based upon the user's interaction, based upon the user preferences, the content will get changed. Okay, e-commerce websites is a good example. The product listing, pricing, and availability may change dynamically based on inventory levels or user preferences. Okay, so the products or the content, whatever is showing from it will differ from one user to another in the concept of e-commerce. So here you can find the concept of dynamic websites where the client requests a web page and it goes to the internet and it goes to the server, and there's a PHP interpreter which will process the request, and based upon the process it replies back to the client. Okay, and next, the advantages of dynamic websites: much more functional website, much easier to update, new content brings people back to the site and helps in search engines also. The disadvantage of dynamic website: slow and more expensive to develop. So it is slower because of regular updates and more expensive also. And third type is flash-based websites. So flash-based websites are special type of websites that do not use HTML at all. Okay, they are created using special software, and the result is a single file that contains all the individual pages. Okay, instead of creating the flash website using HTML, it is created using special software where all the web pages will be in a single file. A well-designed flash websites can be impressive, can provide a smooth user experiences. The problem with the Flash website is that the search engine or robots cannot access it. The problem is because the search engine optimization will not work in the Flash-based websites. What are the different categories of websites? Personal websites, photo sharing websites, different writers, author website, community building website, mobile blogs, and directory on e-commerce. So these are the different categories of websites. So website designing type. So we design or we create websites for all these purposes. Okay, for affiliation side, archive side, blogs, community side, content side, all these things, a website can be created. So next comes Web 1.0, Web 2.0, and Web 3.0. So earlier we have seen about the static website, about the dynamic website. Okay, so this is the dynamic website and this is the static website. So Web 1.0 deals with the static website where it has only read only. Okay, so the content can only be read. There is no any interactive element. But in Web 2.0, it is read and write as well as interactive. That is called as a dynamic websites. Okay, in Web 2.0. In Web 3.0, it is read, write, trust, and also verifiable, where we can able to read the content, write the content, and also we can able to verify the content as well. So in Web 1.0, it is the early version of World Wide Web, where the entire made up of web pages connected by hyperlink. So set of static websites. Okay, so Web 1.0 set of static websites. So exactly where Web 1.0 ends, Web 2.0 begins. So Web 2.0 is characterized by greater user interactivity and collaboration, more pervasive network connectivity, and enhanced communication channels. Technologies used in delivering Web 2.0 are rich web technologies, Adobe Flash and JavaScript. Characteristics of Web 2.0 is the ability for visitors to make changes to web pages. Amazon allows visitors to post product reviews that future visitors will be able to read. So we can able to comment in the products which is available in e-commerce websites. Using web pages to link people to other users, we can able to connect with other users. Okay, many social networking applications are available. Fast and efficient ways to share the content. YouTube is a perfect example. New ways to get information. RSS feeds can able to enable to get updates with the help of the internet connectivity. So some of the elements of Web 2.0 were the increasing of prevalent software such as software as a service, web apps, and cloud computing, rather than locally installed programs and services, and mobile computing. The trend is enabled by the proliferation of smartphones and tablets and other mobile devices in conjunction with readily accessible Wi-Fi networks. So with the involvement of mobile computing, social networking, all this Web 2.0 has been developed. Collaborative, we can able to collaborate with larger number of participants. User generated content is more, okay, writing images, audios, and video content among other possibilities, made freely available online by individuals who create it. So we can able to generate lots and millions of content in online. And then Web 3.0. So Tim O'Reilly defines Web 3.0 as third generation of the web enabled by the convergence of several key emerging technologies in the form of ubiquitous connectivity, which has broadband adoption, mobile internet access, and mobile devices, network computing as software as a service business model, web services interoperability, and distributed computing, open technologies, open API applet programming interfaces and protocols, open data format, open source platforms, and open data, Creative Commons as well as open data license. So he defines the intelligent web as a semantic web technology in the form of resource description framework and semantic application platforms, distributed databases, and intelligent applications. So this is the breakup of Web 1.0, Web 2.0, and Web 3.0. So basically, Web 1.0 is a static website and which is not having any interactive elements. Web 2.0 is dynamic websites which we can able to read and write, and interactive elements are possible. Web 3.0 is read, write, and verifiable also. And next comes the markup languages. So how do we create a web page? A web page is being created using a markup languages. Okay. So markup language is used to represent the content on the web page. Okay. The term markup means instruction for printing in particular style. Similarly to displaying the electronic text on web page browsers, embedded instructions are given within the text to make the person understand how the text should appear on the display. So how does the web work? The web information is stored in web pages in HTML format. So we write HTML codes to create a web page. The web pages are stored in computers called web servers in the web server file system. The computer reading the pages is called as a web client with a specific web browsers. Okay, so some of the web browsers are Internet Explorer, Netscape, Microsoft Edge, Google Chrome. So using this only we can able to read the web pages. A web server waits for the request from a web client over the internet, which is using Internet Information Server or Apache. So how a request is being made? A request is being made to the server and it processes the request and it gives back as a response. So who defines the web standard? So there must be certain policies or standards for defining this web defining strategies. Okay. So Worldwide Consortium, World Wide Web Consortium, W3 schools, they define the standards for the web. So these specification forms, the standards are HTML, CSS, XML, and XHTML. So what is the history of markup languages? So it started with 1970s with the introduction of generalized markup language, GML, and then HTML came, SGML, standard generalized markup language, and then hypertext markup language. So currently we are using XML and cascading style sheet. So markup languages are designed for the processing, definition, and presentation of text. The language specifies code for formatting both the layout and style within the text file. The code used to specify the formatting are called as a tag. So basically there are four types of markup elements. One is structural that clarifies the document structure. Descriptive markup element that is called as indicative and facilitates information retrieval. Presentational markup element function that presents the information in nice format and helps human readability. Referential, which is used to provide links to the other web pages or links. So in structural markup language, it follows a certain structure. Okay, heading tag, reading tag, and body. So whenever there is an opening tag, there must be a closing tag that follows a proper structure, and then body tag, and then the signature tag. Descriptive tag, it defines or it describes about the element. Okay, so here you can find date and the closing date, person, and then slash person. So here it describes the element. What is the event? I hope we'll be able to make the event. Okay, so this is example of a descriptive element. Presentational markup is nothing but where we are going to give some modification, some design for the or presentational lookup for the content. Okay, so here it is right justify. Okay, slash right justify, bold. We are making bold of the particular font. Okay, underline is there, and then here it is on image source, image SRC. Okay, so it is going to invoke the image which is already present in the respective destination folder. Referential or relational markup, which where we are going to refer to a particular location. Okay, so here you can find AHREF conference where we are going to take the link. Okay, so today X link is from simple and HREF is date, accurate is auto. So based upon the link, whatever it is mentioned, it will fetch the data from the hyperlink. So next comes generalized markup language, GML. So it started in the 1960s. So generalized markup language, this is the structure where we have a title and author and then publication. So these are the hierarchical frame of generalized markup language. And then the standard generalized markup language, SGML. Okay, so SGML aims to give general structure for other markup languages. Basically, it was meant to preserve the structure of a document. If SGML is so good, why doesn't anyone use it? Because of its complexity. Okay, because of the complexity of the markup language in SGML, we are not using it more. Okay, SGML is a meta language and it defines the document in document type definition. And DSSL for document style semantics and specific languages adds to its complexity. So we need to define the documents using DSSL. And next comes the hypertext markup language. Since the complexity of standard generalized markup language, then comes the hypertext markup language, which is called as an HTML. So hypertext markup language is a structured markup language that is used to create the web pages, such as HTML is a simple collection of codes called elements that are used to indicate the structure and format of a document. So we are going to use some tags, angle B, for bold, HTML, body. So these are called as the tags. Element names are not case sensitive. So in HTML, it is not case sensitive. An element which is element such as HTML is equivalent to HTML. So here you can find T in capital letter, but here T is in small letter. So both are equal. Okay. Most element consists of a paired tags, a start tag and an end tag. B is a tag has a end tag. The end tag is similar to start tag except the symbol is preceded by a forward slash. Okay. So whenever we need to open a tag, we need to mention within this angle bracket. When we are going to close a tag, we need to mention with this forward slash. Okay, forward slash and then the tag name. Okay. So the tag which is having a opening tag and a closing tag is called as a paired tags. Okay. So this we have seen in our practical classes. What is paired tags and unpaired tags? So tag which does not have a closing tag is called as an unpaired tags. So the different HTML versions and their updates. So it started with 1993. It started with HTML by Tim Berners-Lee. So basic elements, tag elements we have. 1995 with improved features and versions. Okay, we introduced several forms, input, text area, everything has been done. Tables has been able to create in the year 1995. In HTML 3.2 in the 1997, where W3 schools were the official standard, where they support cascading style sheet, JavaScript, and tables and applets. And HTML 4.01 in the year 1991, which is stick with the depleted elements, transitional and frame set, improved form, scripting and accessibility, and then the concept changed to XHTML in the year 2000. Okay, extensible hypertext markup language, where the stricter and cleaner version of HTML 4.0. So 4.0 was the version which was developed using this HTML. So what are the features of HTML? HTML is a content-based and structured markup languages where the code describes what the contents of the documents are. Okay, so with HTML, we can able to describe what the content are. It is platform independent. This means that HTML documents are portable from one computer system to another. So HTML is a programming language. The HTML is document is not HTML is not a programming language. Instead, it is a markup languages. HTML is not a page layout language with only a few extensions. HTML tags are concerned with the structure of a document rather than its appearance. So for framing the content, for framing the structure of a document, we use the HTML. Okay. So these are the different HTML versions. Okay, 1.1, 2.0, 3.2, 4.0. Okay. So how HTML document structure looks? So we have to start with angle bracket HTML and then head. These are called as the tags. So inside this head, we have a content. Okay. And then body tag and then slash body tag and then for HTML slash HTML. Okay. So for each opening tag, we have a closing tag. So these are HTML body elements. These are called as heading tags. Okay. So heading tags will start from H1 to H6. Okay. So H1 being the highest. Okay. And then paragraph tag HREF is used for hyperlink reference for linking to the internal web links or for external web pages. And these are the unordered list and ordered list and for image source. Okay, so this is unordered list and this is ordered list. And this is for the image source. For bringing certain image into web pages, we are using this image tag. Image SRC is nothing but the image source. Okay. So what are the problems we have with HTML? Presentational aspects have predominated. Okay. And links and color. Practically no descriptive markup, which is used to only define the structure of the document. No presentational work is done in HTML. Not extensible, cannot add new tags, unknown tags or ignore. Okay. So with the predefined tags only we can able to make the use of HTML. Okay. And next comes the extensible markup language, which is called as XML. Okay. This is simplified SGML, flexible content management tool. W3C recommendation is available. Extensible can add new elements, and it is a feature of the web. So XML stands for extensible markup language. It's a markup language much like HTML, was designed to describe the data. So earlier we have seen that HTML is used to only structure the data, but XML is used to describe the data. XML tags are not predefined. You must define your own tags, whereas HTML tags are predefined tags. We cannot use our own tags, but in XML we can able to use our own tags. The tags are not predefined. So here XML was designed to attach the semantic to data. XML is not a replacement for HTML. Many have misconception that it replaces HTML, but it is actually used to represent the HTML format. Whatever content you are going to represent in HTML, it is going to just present it with the use of XML. So XML is about describing information. HTML is about the displaying information. How you describe the information, how you describe the content is deals with XML, extensible markup language. But how you are going to display the element which deals with HTML, hypertext markup language. Okay, so this is an example of an XML. So here you have a bibliography. So these all tags are user defined tags. Sorry, these are user defined tags. These are not predefined tags. Okay. So here for each tag you have a opening tag and a closing tag. Okay, for title tagging /title, author /title. So many tags are available. So these are different other markup languages other than HTML and XML. We have call policy markup language, CPML, astronomical markup language, AML. Okay, signed document markup language, SDML. So these are other markup languages are available. Okay, so before we have seen the markup languages, we started with the HTML, XML, SDML, and how the HTML structure is being framed, what are the different tags we use in HTML and XML structure. Next, we will be seeing about the scripting languages. So scripting languages, first, before going to scripting language, we must know what is the client-side architecture. So on a network, the client computer considered to be as a user computer connected to the user. Okay. And a server is connected computer that provides some kind of resources to the client computer. So if there are two computers, a client and a server, so client computer is nothing but which is connected to the user, and a server is computer that provides some kind of resources to the client computer. So it gives some resources to the client computer. So next is scripting language. A scripting language is a high-level language that is used to work alongside other applications. A scripting language tend to be interpreted rather than being compiled. Okay, so we need to compile HTML code, we need to compile XML code, but a scripting language we need to interpret it. We need not to compile it. Okay, so some of the examples which are used to compile the scripting language are Visual Basic applications. Okay, JavaScript is a client-side scripting language which can be used to develop scripts for web pages. PHP is a server-side scripting language used to create dynamically web pages. Okay. So in scripting, we have two types. One is server-side scripting, another one is client-side scripting. So server-side scripting is nothing but where the code is executed on the server before the data is passed to user browser. The result returned to the client will typically be in HTML created by the server script. In other words, dynamic web pages. So all the changes, whatever you are going to make, will be executed in the server side itself before it is passing to the user client. Okay. So client side scripting is nothing but A JavaScript is a good example for client-side scripting language for a web page. It can be used to develop the interactivity of a web page by using a calculator, clock, input validation of a text field. Okay. So when you're going to apply for a job application, we need to mention of a date of birth. Okay. So in that case, if we click date of birth, there will be a calendar popping up. Okay. We can mention the date, day of birth, month of birth, and the year of birth. So when we click that, the pop-up calendar will disappear. So that is a good example of a Java side of client-side scripting. And next comes the cascading style sheet. What is a CSS? So CSS is nothing but a style sheet language used for describing the presentation of a document written in markup languages like HTML. So we are going to describe the content. We are going to make the presentation of a content. So how we do by using HTML markup languages. CSS separates the content of a web page from its design, allowing developers to control the layout, color, fonts, and other visual aspects of the web pages. Okay, so when we are seeing the cascading style sheet in our practical class, I have explained the inline CSS, external CSS. So, sorry. So it will be separate from the actual content. Okay, actual code of content and then the actual presentation content. So we have different two separate bits. Cascading style sheet is a fundamental technology used to style the web pages. So if you want to make some changes, the layout, if you want to change the color, fonts, other visual aspects, if you want to change, then you can use this cascading style sheet. What are the key elements of cascading style sheet? CSS consists of a selector and one or more declaration which are enclosed in this curly braces. Each declaration includes a property and a value separated by a colon. Okay. So here you can find. Yeah. So here you can find the property and the value. This is the element. So in paragraph tag, we mentioned the style. So this is the element. In element, we mention the property. So the property is color. So the property is color and then the value. So value is nothing but red, green. So these are the value which we are going to mention. So that is what is mentioned here. So the selector is mentioned and then a property and then the value which is separated by a colon. So what is a selector? A CSS selector are patterns used to select the HTML element that you want to style. So for example, if we want to style a particular tag name, okay, a class or an attribute. So first we need to select a particular element and then for that element, we need to make some properties and those values. So how we to make the properties? Properties define the visual appearance of the selected element. They include properties for setting the color, font, margins, padding, borders, and more. Values, CSS properties assign values that specify how they should affect the selected element. Okay, so for mentioning the color, for mentioning the font size, for mentioning the text size, we can mention in the form of values. So here you can find a style sheet based upon the set of properties and attributes to define the style. To describe a presentation of a document which is written in markup languages, we have a paragraph tag. Okay, so inside this paragraph tag, we have the content. And this defines the style of how things in paragraph tag appears. Okay, what is the font, what is the color, size, margins, etc. In cascading style sheet, we need to mention the rules to determine how to apply markup that contains other markup. Okay, so for this markup tag, we need to mention a cascading style sheet which applies all these things, color, size, margin, etc. So how to apply this cascading style sheet? So basically this cascading style sheet, there are of three types. One is inline style, internal style, and external style. So inline style is nothing but this refers to a CSS property applied internally within the document. Okay, it is directly within an HTML element. This method allows user to style a specific element without using an external or internal style sheet. So when we are seeing about a HTML code, we must have seen HTML, okay, and then head, and then paragraph tag for, okay, body. Okay, in paragraph tag, we must see the content. Okay, so in inline style of CSS, we are going to mention the attributes within the tags itself. So how we are mentioning? We are mentioning the element, that is element is called as the style, and the style we are defining it as color, colon, red. So what we are defining, we are mentioning the property. So this is an element and this is the property. and this is the value. Okay, so element style, we are mentioning the property color, and the what is the value for the property? It is red. Okay, so for this entire paragraph, it will be in red color. And what is internal CSS? So internal style refers to CSS rules defined within the style tag inside the head section of an HTML document. So within the head tags, okay, so within the head tags, we are going to mention the CSS styles. So how we are mentioning head tag is the style. For paragraph, we are going to mention the property and the value. So this is the element. Okay, this is the element, and this is the property, and this is the value. Okay, so we are mentioning the property and value within the style tag. This is called as an internal style. External style sheets are nothing but which has a separate CSS file that contains style rules and is linked to an HTML document using a link tag. So one file we have the HTML code of the document, and second file we have a CSS style sheet. Okay, so this separate CSS file will be saved in the name of style.css, which we have a link to the HTML file. So from this CSS file, we will be linking to this HTML with the help of a link tag. Okay, so here you can find head tag. Within the head tag, we have a link tag relation to style sheet. The link href hyperlink reference is style.css. Okay, why do we use CSS? To separate content from form. So content can be separate and the presentation can be separate. For this only we use a style sheet. So these are some of the examples. And okay, so what are the emerging Web 2.0 tools? Okay, so to make the content more interactive, user-generated content to the internet, we need some of the tools which can able to make the support more collaborative, sharing, and more engaging aspect. Okay, so social bookmarking tools, a method for internet users to store, manage, and share bookmarks online, which also allows users to tag and categorize for better optimization also, better organization also. Okay, so some of the tools like Conetta, Dig, and Delicious. What are the key functions and functionality? They provide users can able to create personal collections of books, and they can also share their bookmarks publicly or with members of a particular group. Okay, so these are the key functionalities of a bookmarks app. Conetta. So Conetta is a free online reference management service developed by Nature Publishing Group in the year 2004, where users can or the researchers, scientists can able to store, organize, and share references to scholarly articles, web pages, and other online resources. These are some of the key features. Okay, and Conetta is being discontinued in the year March 2013. Dig. Dig is a social news aggregator website that is originally launched in the year 2004. We use Dig to discover, users can able to discover, share, and vote on news stories, blog posts, and other online content where we can able to upload and download is nothing but liking and disliking. So all these facilities available in Dig. So Dig functionality, current status, it serves as a news aggregator, okay, where it curates high quality articles from around the web rather than relying on user submissions. So Delicious is another application which was started in the year 2003. Okay, it also follows the concept of social bookmarking. It is a social bookmarking service that allows users to tag, save, manage, and also we can able to share the web pages from a centralized source. Site you like. So these are some of the applications stumble upon. Okay, how we can use the social bookmarking tools in the concept of content development. We can able to use in the form of content curation and research, collaboration and knowledge sharing, trend analysis and inspiration, citation management, search engine optimization, and content organization and retrieval. How we can use in content curation? We can able to use the users to save, categorize relevant articles, research papers, and resources. They can able to help organize resources, making it easier to retrieve information. Collaboration and knowledge sharing. Teams can create shared collections for bookmarking resources, enabling collaborative research and content development. Trend analysis and inspiration, we can able to mark the trending article, blog post, case studies in the form of content ideas based on the current industry discussions. Okay, citation management, by using different citation management tools like Zotero and Mendeley, we can able to manage the citations and references efficiently. And search engine optimization and content creation strategy, we can able to manage the different search engine optimizations. Okay, where it can able to recognize it as a valuable and it will be displaying it in the result page. Content organization and retrieval, we can able to categorize saved resources under different folders, tags, or labels, which will be making easier to retrieve the information whenever we require. And next is the reference management tools. So, as you all know, reference management tools are software applications or online services designed to help researchers, academicians, students, and professionals to organize, store, and manage and cite references, bibliographic information for research papers, articles, books, and other scholarly works. So, for this reason only, we use a reference management tool. So, Zotero is a free and open source reference management tool where researchers who needs an easy to use and free reference manager. Browser extensions available, plugins are available for Microsoft Word, and you can able to organize references, and you can able to tag and different create different collections. Cloud synchronization is also available in Zotero. Mendeley, which is freemium. Freemium is nothing but part of the application is free, and part of the application is for premium use. That is the concept of freemium, which is owned by Elsevier. EndNote, which is totally paid, which is sponsored by Claritative Analysis. RefWork is based upon subscription based, where universities and institutions with subscriptions can be useful for this. JabRef, which is a free and open source, and mainly it is used for LaTeX users. Okay, LaTeX users is nothing but like a word processor for preparing your PhD thesis and your dissertations also. SciDiving, it is paid, which is free version for the students. Okay, so these are the different reference management softwares or tools which are used in this Web 2.0 applications. Okay. And this is the last unit 4, which is multimedia and emerging technologies. So multimedia is nothing but where it refers to the combination of different type of content such as text, audio, images, video, animation, and interactive elements, where it is used to convey some information, or we can for engaging the audiences. Okay, so it integrates the various media formats into cohesive presentation, often used in education, entertainment, advertisement, and communication. So one good example is YouTube. Which was started in the year 2005. Okay. And then Google acquired YouTube in the year 2006. And now it is the second most visited website after Google. So for every minute, 500 hours of video is being uploaded. Okay. And then, okay. So what can we do on YouTube in the form of content development and content creation? We can able to create content. We can able to upload video logs, tutorials, educational videos, product reviews, etc. We can also use it as a learning platform. Okay, NPTEL videos, TEDx videos, crash course videos are available in YouTube channels. We can also use it as a marketing process for marketing and branding. Okay, business promotes products, services, and events. Monetization opportunities. Many social media influencers are earning by YouTube. Okay, we can able to generate revenue out of it. Collaboration, partner with other creators for wider audience reach. Live streaming is possible. Conduct webinars, gaming, streams, and interactive question and answer sessions. Community building is possible. Engage with followers to comments, polls, and discussions. So, what are the basic benefits of having YouTube as a content development? Global reach is possible. Visual learning, where we can able to have many tutorials, demonstration for the educational content. User engagement is possible. Features like likes, comments, and sharing boost interaction. Feedback mechanism is also possible. Cost effective, search engine optimization friendly. Videos appear in both Google and YouTube search results. Flexible formats, okay, and monetization potential. NPTEL National Program on Technology Enhanced Learning. So NPTEL was initially initiated in 2003 by IITs and IICs. Okay, IISc, and then it provides free online course in engineering, science, management, and humanities. It offers certification program through exams. It is a part of Swayam platform, MOOCs, massive open online courses. So these are the features of NPTEL. So in the context of content development, what we can do in NPTEL, we can enroll in courses. Okay, access the video lectures, detailed tutorials, presentations, and demonstration, earn certification, prepare for competitive exams, skill enhancement, and faculty support is also provided. How this NPTEL supports for learning and teaching. Free access to quality content. All resources are available at no cost. So in NPTEL, you can able to register and you can able to access at no cost. All the resources at no cost. Expert faculty who are experts in the particular field are teaching. Certification values are the flexible learning, industry relevant skills of the content variety. It covers technical, humanities, and interdisciplinary subjects as well. Okay. Next is Flickr. So similar like YouTube and NPTEL, Flickr is also an image and video hosting platform, which was started in the year 2004, and then Yahoo later it occurred in the year 2005, and now it is owned by Smugmug from the year 2018. So different virtual interaction tools. Okay, so we must have come across different virtual interaction tools and real-time communication tools, which is used for video conferencing, instant messaging, file sharing, and team collaboration. Okay, so Skype, Meebo, Google Talk, Yahoo Messenger, Ajax Chat, Microsoft Teams. So these are some of the widely used virtual interaction tools. Okay, which is mainly used for video conferencing, web chat, web-based chat, instant messaging. Okay, and popular chat services available in Yahoo. Ajax Chat is used for browser-based chat solutions for website. Okay, so all these things are the virtual interaction tools. So I have given everything in detail. Um, okay. So how we can use this virtual interaction tools for content development? We can use it for brainstorming and for idea creation, collaborative writing and editing, content review and feedback, multimedia content creation, content distribution and publishing generation, training and workshops, collaborate content across team, enhanced audience engagement, integrating visuals and media, remote collaboration with the other experts. Okay. So these are the virtual interaction tools for content development. Okay, some of the audio visual tools, Zoom. Okay, I have given here. So we can use it and you can experience it. And Web 3.0 tools. So Web 3.0 tools is nothing but, as we have earlier seen, Web 1.0 is static. It is read only. Web 2.0 is interactive. Web 3.0, which enhances read, write, and interactive and reliable, also verifiable. Artificial intelligence, cloud computing, neural networks are part of Web 3.0. So in Web 3.0, it mainly focuses on decentralization, okay, blockchain technology, and intelligence, artificial intelligence, connectivity using IoT devices. So semantic web is nothing but enhancing machine understanding of data, cloud computing, remote data storage, neural network, artificial intelligence modeling, artificial intelligence, machine learning, reasoning, and automating tasks. So semantic web is nothing but making data meaningful for machines. Okay. It's an enhanced version of web that allows machines to understand, process, and relate information intelligently. So that is the concept of semantic web. So mainly semantic web is working on metadata and LinkedIn data, where it takes the help of resource description framework, RDF, and Spiral Q. Okay. So some examples like Google Knowledge Graph, Wikipedia link data, ChatGPT, and AI assistants are using this semantic web. So this is the architectural view of the semantic web, where here uses this ontology language. Okay, this ontology language is for describing the properties and classes, which is most important, and then a resource description framework. Okay, so this is based for vocabulary building for describing the properties and the classes based on this RDF. Cloud computing, which is a backbone for digital transformation. It allows users to store, access, and process data over the internet rather than to the local servers. Types of cloud computing, public cloud, private cloud, and hybrid cloud, and community cloud. Okay, public cloud, which is open to all, Amazon Web Service, Cloud, Google Cloud. Private cloud, which is only for a particular organization. Hybrid, which is combination of public and private. Community cloud, which is a shared infrastructure for a specific group of communities or groups. Artificial intelligence, the future of smart automation. AI enables machine to think, learn, and automate decision making like humans. There are different types of artificial intelligence. Weak AI, which is designed for specific tasks. Strong AI, where we can have a human-like reasoning. Generative AI that creates content for example, ChatGPT. Okay, and DeepSeek, everything. AI in action, AI can be used in healthcare, cybersecurity, and in personalized learning as well. Ethical challenges, which is bias and misinformation are possible in AI, data privacy risk, and job displacement. So artificial intelligence in content development, we can use for generating the content and summaries, voice to text translations, automated content curation also we can do, where we can able to generate or select content from relevant, like it works as a news aggregators. Okay. AI powered chatbots and virtual assistants, interactive AI enhance content delivery and engagement, content personalization, AI analyzes users behavior to recommend articles, videos, or courses dynamically. Neural networks, which is powering modern AI innovation. Neural networks are machine learning models inspired by the human brain designed to recognize patterns, classify data, and make decisions upon those patterns. So types of neural network, artificial neural networks used in text pre-processing, and then convolutional neural network, which is used to recognize the images, recurrent neural networks, which is used in space recognition, transformers, which is used for advanced AI language models, generating AI language models. So these are some of the latest trends which are used in the neural networks. In the concept of content development, which we can use it in text and image recognition, sentiment analysis can be made, content quality assessment, predictive analytics for engagement, and for automated video editing. Okay, so this is Unit 4. So Unit 4 starts with multimedia and emerging technologies, where it starts with YouTube, NPTEL, Flickr, and then we move on to virtual interaction tools. Okay, so virtual interaction tools like real-time communications, video conferencing, instant messaging, as we have seen, and different virtual interaction tools like Skype, Meet, Google Talk, and all. And then we have moved on to the virtual interaction tools for content development, how we can use these tools in the concept of content development. And then we moved on to Web 3.0 tools, where we have seen what is decentralization, intelligence, artificial intelligence, and neural networks. And then semantic web, its concept, cloud computing, its concept, how we can enable this artificial intelligence, cloud computing, semantic web in content development process. Okay. So this is your theory aspect with Unit 1, Unit 2, Unit 3, and Unit 4. Okay. Now we will move on to our practical aspect. Okay. So in practical aspect, we have three components. One is Drupal, WordPress, and HTML. Okay. First, I will go through this HTML. Okay, so in HTML, we are going to deal with hypertext markup language, that is a markup languages, where we are going to design different web pages. Okay, so basically we will be starting with HTML code, and then for each HTML code, we have a slash HTML code. Okay, and head tag and then slash h tag. So between this head tag, only this title tag will come. So opening of title tag and the closing of a title tag, my first web page. And then in body tag, we have this is my first web page created. Okay, so this is an example of a basic HTML code where it defines the title as my first web page and a content as this is my first web page created. Okay, so this is an example of a normal HTML tag. In second program markup language, we will be seeing about the heading tags. So heading tags is nothing but each heading tags we can define by using H1 to H6. Okay, so H1 being the highest. Okay, it will be the highest of heading tag. So between these head tags, we can define the content H1 and then slash H1. So between these header tags, heading tags, we are defining the content H1, H2, H3, H4, H5, and H6. So these are the different 6 type of heading tags. And next is the paragraph tag, how we are going to modify or make presentation of our HTML code. So we can use this paragraph tag. So these tags are same, and paragraph tag is within angle brackets. We are mentioning as P and then the content. Okay. And then we have a break tag where we are going to mention the break. Okay. So here you can find the first code paragraph tag. Here we have the 2 lines, one up to this 2025 dot, and then the second line. Okay. But here we have the first line and then we have a break tag. Okay. So this break tag, what it will do, it will break the line into 2 different lines. Okay. So here, if I open this code, here you can find the first code. Here the first line and the second line is there, but here the first line and then break and then the second line. Okay, so this is an example of a break tag. So fourth code, here you can find paragraph tag is mentioned. Here also paragraph tag, and here you can find we are mentioning some attributes. Earlier we have seen about giving some elements and the values. So this is an element style element, and between these element we are giving color as property and value as red. Okay. So once we are giving this, and then if you are going to give second element, then we have to mention this with the semicolon. Semicolon, font hyphen size, colon, pixel, 30 pixel. Okay. So this font hyphen size is the property, and this is the colon, and then the value 30 pixel. Okay, so 30 pixel is the size of the font. So this is what we are mentioning. So this, if you open here, you can find this is the first line and this is the second line with the break. And here you can find this color has been changed to red and the size has been increased to 30 pixel. And next, with the help of some of the other formatting tags, okay, like bold. So this content will be bold. It will be available in bold format. Okay. And then italics. Here you can find it will be in italics. And then mark tag. Mark tag is nothing but to highlight the tags. Okay. So here you can find between the mark and slash mark, we have this HTML element. So this will be displayed like this. We have a bold tag, HTML tag, italics, syntax, and we have a mark tag, HTML element. So this will be highlighted. Okay, like this it will be mark tags. And next is the deletion tag. Okay, so rupees 30 will be deleted. And then we have a so here we have the superscript and subscript. Okay, superscript and subscript. Here you can find the difference. Okay, so superscript you can find structure, and then to the superscript you can find add syntax. So subscript is HTML tags. Okay, so here you can find website creation will be the subscript. Okay, HTML tag, and then superscript is structure. Okay, so structure is a superscript above HTML tag, and below HTML tag subscript will be website creation. So here you can find website creation subscript, HTML tag, and superscript as structure. Okay, so this is an example of formatting tags. And next comes the hyperlink. Okay, so in hyperlink there are two types. One is internal link and another one is external link. So internal link is nothing but where we are going to give the link within the document itself. Okay, so here you can find the format is AHREF and then the path of the document. Path of the document is nothing but the name of the file. Okay, so here I'm going to give file.html. So file.html I'm mentioning here in this document. So file.html is this document, and I'm mentioning here, and the content go to file.html. Okay, so if I'm opening this, so here you can find go to file.html. So if I click on this, I'm getting this file.html screen as an output. But external link is nothing but AHREF, the same command, with the link https://www.google.com is nothing but where it navigates to an external link outside the document. Okay, outside the directory. Okay, so here you can find. So when I press on this, go to file.html, it's going to my internal document. When I press on this, go to google.com, it is going to Google web page. Okay, so this is an example of an internal link and an external link. So internal link is nothing but accessing the web page within the document, and external link is nothing but when we are going to navigate outside the directory to the World Wide Web. Images. Okay. So here, this code is nothing but to display the image. Okay, so how we are going to display the image? By using an image tag. IMG is the image tag we are going to display, and SRC is nothing but a source, image source. Okay, and the path of the file, images/youtube.jpg. Okay, so this images is nothing but the folder name, and then /directory, and then the YouTube. Okay, so here you can find and keeping it in the images folder. Okay, so images and then the image name. Okay, images and then youtube.jpg. So in this image code, image tag, this file extension is more important. Okay. For example, you have PNG also. Okay, .png. If you don't mention the file extension, or if you mention the wrong file extension, then the image will not be displayed. Okay, so for that you need to mention the file extension also. So how you can find the file extension is, you can right click the image or the file and you can go to properties. So when you go to properties, here you can find type of file. So the type of file is .jpg. Okay, so this is the name of the file or extension, and we have to mention it here. And the style, width, how much it should be, height, and the title. Okay, and then images with link. For example, if you are going to create an image, and when a user clicks on an image, it should navigate to a different web page. Then we can create an image with the hyperlink reference. Okay, so first the reference, hyperlink reference, https://www.youtube.com, the link of the image, sorry, the link of the web page, and then the image source. Okay, the same command here, the image source, images youtube.jpg, and then the properties. Okay, so here I'm mentioning the properties. So when I click on this image, it will navigate to the web page. Okay. Okay, and then cascading style sheet, inline CSS. As I mentioned, the theory class, inline CSS is nothing but we are going to style the document within the text itself, within the command itself. So here you can find inline CSS example, the title, and here I am giving the header one. Okay, header one. Here I am mentioning the element style and the property :blue, comma, semicolon, font hyphen size colon 24 pixel. Okay, so this is an example of an inline CSS. Oh, I'm going to mention the style within the code itself. That is element property :value. Okay, so this is an example of inline CSS. So when I open this, here it shows blue color and the font size also increase. This is an example of inline inline CSS. And next is internal CSS. So internal CSS, here you can find internal CSS example, style. This is the element or the function. I am mentioning the header. Okay, header one, color :green, font size 30 pixel. In paragraph, I'm opening color gray, font size italic. Okay, so what I'm doing, I'm giving the style, I'm giving the formatting option with the element style, with the function style. Okay, and the content as separate. Okay, so here you can find H1. So this H1 is mentioned here. So for this internal CSS example content, the formatting option is mentioned here. And for this paragraph content, this paragraph is styled using internal CSS. The formatting is mentioned here. So this internal CSS example will be available in, will be displayed in green color 30 pixel. And this paragraph is styled using internal CSS will be visible in gray color with the style italic. Okay, so when we open this, here you can find it is with green color 30 pixel, and this is style gray color with italic. Okay, so this is internal CSS. Earlier was inline CSS within the command, within the line of command, and internal CSS where we have different styles, H1 and paragraph style, and we are mentioning the style differently. Okay, and the third one is the external CSS. So external CSS, as I earlier mentioned, we need to create a separate cascading style sheet file and then revoke that file towards our command. Okay, that is an example of an external CSS. Okay, so here you can find this is an external CSS where I mentioned the body, H1 and paragraph. Okay, so for paragraph, the color is gray, font size is 80 pixel, header, the color is dark blue, and the text is aligned as center. For body, the background color is light blue, and the font family is Arial and sans serif. Okay, so here I mentioned the styles, but the command I have mentioned it here. Okay, so these are the two files. The first file with header tag, title, link, relation to style sheet. Okay, so this style sheet is nothing but, okay, this style sheet is nothing but this file, style.css. Okay, in style.css, we have background color, light blue for font family, Arial for the body. So for the body element, whatever it is mentioned between the body, it is going to be background color is light blue, and font family is Arial. For H1, color is dark blue, text align as center. So for H1, it will be dark blue and centered. For paragraph, it will be gray and 18 pixel. For paragraph, it is gray and 18 pixel. Okay, so all these So all these things we are going to have in this external style sheet called style sheet with the name styles.css. So, okay. So after saving this file, styles.css, now we are going to open this file. So when we open here, you can find the background is changed. Okay. So here you can find the difference. Background color as light blue, font family as Arial and sans serif, header 1 it is mentioned as dark blue, text aligned as center. Okay, and paragraph it is gray color and the text is 18 pixel. Okay, so this is the example of inline CSS, internal CSS, and external CSS. So inline CSS within the paragraph or whatever tag you are mentioning, it is inline CSS. Internal CSS having within the HTML code. External CSS is having an external CSS file. Okay, by which you can able to rework the file inside this HTML command. Okay, so this is HTML programming. So these are the things will be asked for your exams also. And then Drupal and WordPress. So as I mentioned earlier, Drupal and WordPress are the content management system or content management software, which is open source and available for free. So you can able to download it and you can able to customize it according to your needs. Okay. So for installing this Drupal and WordPress, we need to install an application called XAMPP. Okay. First, we need to install this XAMPP. I have already installed. Okay, so when you install this XAMPP, it will be available, will be looking like this. In XAMPP, we need to enable 3 applications. One is Apache, MySQL, and Tomcat. Okay, so this Apache and Tomcat for running of this web servers, and MySQL is for creation of a database inside your hard disk. Okay, for storing some data with respect to this Drupal and WordPress. Okay, so this XAMPP application is essential for running a client-server architecture within your desktop itself. So because this Drupal, WordPress or content management system where it requires a client and server architecture. Okay. So instead of creating a different client-server architecture, we can able to create this WordPress Drupal inside our desktop or laptop itself. So for that, we need a server kind of setup. So for that, we are going to use this XAMPP. Okay. This is cross-platform application for creating this client and server architecture. So once you install this XAMPP, then we need to start this Apache, MySQL, and Tomcat. So you can find green color in this Apache, MySQL, and Tomcat. So that means it is running. Okay. So this is the first one, first option. Okay. And we need to download XAMPP application. Okay. It is fine. Okay. So now I'll first go through Drupal first and then to WordPress. So once you have installed XAMPP, then in our web browser, we need to type localhost/XAMPP. Okay. So here you can find localhost/XAMPP. If we type, then we will be able to get the screen and we need to click PHP MyAdmin. So when we click on PHP MyAdmin, we will get the screen. So here in this process, we will be creating 2 steps. One is creation of new setup for Drupal and WordPress. And then we need to create 2 user accounts, one for Drupal and one for WordPress. Okay. So this is the procedure. First, we need to create a database. So that database will be named as Drupal. Okay. So once you create this Drupal and click on create, our database will be created. Here you can find Drupal as a database. Second, with this created database, we need to create a user account. Okay. So we need to click on this user account and click on this add user. So when we click on this add user, we will create the screen. Here we need to type the username of the user account. So username, I'm going to give it as Drupal, host as localhost, password as Drupal. Okay. Username as Drupal, host name localhost, password Drupal. Retype password as Drupal. So once giving this, we need to click on this global privileges, check all. So enable this and give go. So your database and your user account will be created. Next step, what we need to do is open another browser and type localhost/Drupal. The third step is to type localhost/Drupal. So when we type localhost/Drupal, we will get this installation screen of Drupal. Okay. So the current version what I'm using for this Drupal is 10.3.14. Okay. So click on this and click save and continue. And save and continue like this. Okay. Sometimes you might face this kind of issue, that is PHP extension. Okay. So if you are facing this issue, what you can do, you can first go to your SAM and click on this Apache config, go to this php.ini, and then you have to search for a command called extension equal to GD. Okay. All these installation steps I have already given. This is for just a revision. Okay. So extension equal to GD, we need to remove this semicolon. So semicolon will be in the front, remove the semicolon, save this file and stop Apache, save this file, stop Apache, MySQL and Tomcat and restart again. Okay. If you restart, then you will not face any issue. You will come to this screen directly. Okay. Database configurations, we have already created our database in XAMPP. So the database name is Drupal, username is Drupal, password is Drupal. Okay. So if you give on this Drupal, save and continue, then our installation will start. Okay. So once installation over, it will ask for site information. So I have given here is Department of LIS and my email ID, username as Drupal, password as Drupal and confirm password. Okay. So once this is done, we will be successfully installed our Drupal application in our XAMPP portal. Okay. So here, this is the Drupal file, Drupal home screen. So in Drupal, it is like a web page only. Okay. It's a website or a web page where we will have a navigation screen. We will be able to create some content. Okay. So how to create content? Click on this content. Okay. So now I'm going to add a new content. Click on add content. There are two types of content. One is article and another one is a basic page. So first I'm going to create an article. Okay, if you want to create basic page also you can create. If you want to create an article also you can create. For example, I'm going to create a content about library and information science. Okay, so I will just take a content from Wikipedia. Okay, I'm just copying some content and I'm pasting it here. And I'm going to publish this. Okay. So if you're going to publish, if you want to make some modifications, some menu settings here, you can give. Okay. And give save. So when I give on this save, the content will be published in the website. So the title is Library and Information Science. So here you can find Library Information Science and the content, whatever I have created. Okay. So this is an article. Now I'm going to create a basic page. So go to this content and give add content. I'm going to create a basic page. So here I'm going to create Department of Library Information Science and I'm going to type Soul DU. Okay, some content I'm typing and I'm going to save. Okay, so this is a basic page, Department of Library Information Science, Soul DU. Okay, so we have created two. One is a basic page, another one is a content. Okay, so if I need one to so here you can find some navigation menus. Okay, so these are called as navigation menus. Home. If I want to create one more navigation menu called About Us, I can create. Okay, so I'm going to create one more About Us. Add content. So it's a basic page. I'm going to create About Us. Okay, about the department something. So you can visit SOL North Campus for further queries, something I'm typing. So if anybody want to know more about the content, they can visit the SOL North Campus. Okay, so I have created this About Us, but this About Us is not available in this screen, in this navigation menu. So now I'm going to change the About Us appearance. Okay, so what I'm going to do, so I'm going to content. Okay, so these are the list of content we have created. In About Us, I'm going to edit it. Okay, so I'm going to edit this. And here you have menu settings. Okay, so in this menu, provide a menu link. Okay, so provide a menu link I am given. Parent link will be home. Okay, so this I am giving. So this will create a link for this about us page. Okay, so here you can find about us is available here. So when they click on home, it will go to the home page. And when we click on about us, it will go to about us page. Okay, so likewise, you can able to create multiple menu options in this navigation screen. Okay, here you can create multiple web pages. Okay, and for each web pages, you can able to create a navigation link in this menu options. Okay, and if you want to make changes in your appearance, okay, themes, if you want to make any change, so you can go to this appearance option, and there are some pre-installed themes. Okay, so this is an installed theme. This is what we are using currently, and this is administration theme. Okay, now if you want to add some more themes, you can click on this alternative themes available. So we can go to this themes collection of themes which is already available in Drupal web page. Then we can able to download the themes and we can able to install it. Okay, so to enable themes in Drupal, there are two options. One, we can directly download this and install. The second option is you can able to download the themes. Okay, so you can, so these are some of the themes. Okay, Bootstrap, Tara, these are some of the things which is already downloaded. You can download this, and what you can do, you can extract, you have to extract this zip file, copy this, and go to C, XAMPP, htdocs. So Drupal is the CMS we are using, and go to themes folder and paste it here. Okay, so when you paste the all the themes application which is related to this Bootstrap. So Bootstrap is the thing, like I said, type of theme. Okay, so here you can find Bootstrap. Okay, so this Bootstrap only I have downloaded and I have unzipped, and that I am copying into htdocs as a XAMPP, htdocs, Drupal, and then themes folder. So now if I'm going to this Drupal folder here, Drupal screen. So now here you can find some uninstalled themes Drupal. Okay, the theme which I pasted here is now available in our Drupal. So you can directly click on this and you can able to select. Okay, so if I'm going to install, so install and set as default. So it will install this theme in my Drupal and it will make it as a default default theme. Okay, so now the theme has been changed. Earlier it was in different theme. Now it has been changed to some Drupal theme. Okay, so like this, you can able to download many themes which are compatible with the version of Drupal what you are going to use, and you can modify all your user interfaces. Okay, so this is what with Drupal: creation of content, creation of navigation menus, linking with the navigation menu, and creation and modification of your user interface using an appearance, that is themes. Okay, next with WordPress. So WordPress is also a open source content management system. Okay, so WordPress also, what you can do, you can download WordPress which is available in website. You need to go to C drive, XAMPP, htdocs, and WordPress. You need to paste it here. Okay, so after pasting, you have to open XAMPP folder. You need to open XAMPP. Okay, in XAMPP, you have to start Apache, MySQL, and Tomcat. Okay. So the same procedure, whatever we did in Drupal, first we created a database and then user account. The same thing we are going to do. First, we need to create a database called WordPress. Okay. And then after creating, we are going to create a user account. Username is WordPress, host name as WordPress, password WordPress, free type password as WordPress. Okay. And then check all global privileges, and then go to local browser, type localhost/WordPress. Okay, this will not come. You need to type localhost/WordPress. Then you will get this welcome screen, installation screen. Give next, database name. We have already created a database. So the database name is WordPress. Username will be WordPress. Password is WordPress. Host is localhost, and give submit. Okay, and then the installation screen. Title, I'm going to give Department of LIS or PGDADLM website. Username WordPress, password, email, and then install. So once installation is complete, you need to log in into WordPress. You will get this screen. Okay. So this is a home screen of WordPress. So similarly, like Drupal, we can also create content in WordPress, and we can able to modify the content appearance also. So for creating content here, it is available in post. So post, add new post. Okay. So if I'm going to create some, or choose this. So I will go to this content. I choose department of LIS. Okay. So the department of LIS, I'm typing some content here, and I'm going to publish this. So if I publish this, it will be available in the website. Okay. So I'm going to WordPress. So here you can find Department of LIS is already available. So here you can find Department of LIS. So this is a page or an article or a basic page we have created in in this PGDALM website in WordPress. Okay. So now I'm going to add more posts. Okay. So you can, if you want to add more posts, you can add. So I'm going to add this lecture is about content development. Okay. So I'm adding some more content, and I'm going to save this. So if you want to make some modification, the background color, text, size, dimension, border, all these formatting options are available here, and then publish. Okay. So this is another page. So the post is published. So if you go to this website, so you can find Department of LIS. This lecture is about the content. Okay. All these things are available here. So similarly, if I'm going to, okay, so this is for creation of the content. For designing the change themes, you can go to the appearance and themes. Okay, so here also there are some predefined themes available. If you want to add new theme, then you can go to this add theme, and based upon the themes which is getting loaded here. So for example, if I'm going to use this Astra, just click on this install, and you need to activate it. So it will download the themes from its repository, and we can able to enable it. So we need to activate. So when we activate, the theme will be enabled. So here you can find the theme has been enabled. So if you click on this, this will give a post. Okay. Okay. So like this, you can change some of the themes. So if you want to change some more themes, go to themes again and add theme. So for example, if I want to add this theme, install and then activate. Okay, so now you can find a different theme. Okay, if you click on this read more, this option is coming now. Previous, next, next. Okay, so like this, you can able to create your own content, and you can able to publish in the publicly available World Wide Web. Okay, so this is what WordPress and Drupal. So only these things will be asked in examinations also. Installation of WordPress or Drupal, either one of the two softwares, and how you are going to create some content, and how to change the appearance or themes of your user interface screen. Okay. So is it clear? Content development, theory aspect, and the practical aspect.
Yes, sir.
So, so I'll wind up the session for now, and all the best for your exams as well.